On August 14th, we released cnHeat 2.3, which adds a Tower Eval feature. Standard macro and microsites in cnHeat are excellent for pre-qualifying customer installs, but what if you want to find your next tower location instead? That's where this feature comes in handy. Tower Eval sites let you place a tower, configure radios, and run predictions to see what-if scenarios. They're less expensive than regular macro sites, and they run more quickly. There are, however, some trade-offs that you should be aware of. To keep things lightweight, these types of towers only allow one prediction at a time. When you run a new additional prediction for the site, it will overwrite the first. Number two, to speed up predictions, we run a static customer install height instead of pre-processing all heights from 0 feet to 80 feet. So I'll demonstrate that here. If we were to run a new prediction, when you submit your job, it asks you explicitly what customer install height you'd be interested in. And so because we're generating with one static height, the height slider isn't going to work for any Tower Eval sites. You can, however, still click between line of sight and non-line of sight and also adjust your signal strength. Number three, the resolution is lowered slightly for these Tower Eval sites. So instead of 1 meter resolution, they are run at 1 meter in the back end, but then they're only rendered and displayed on the front end at 2 meter resolution. So they'll look a little bit fuzzier than the 1 meter resolution. As a note, these Tower Eval sites are not eligible for BDC exports or embed. You do have the option, however, to apply a macro or a microsite credit to a Tower Eval site. It will create a clone, and then that clone site with the new macro or micro credit will be eligible for these two features. And then the last thing to remember is identifiers run differently with Tower Eval sites. Instead of going through the GUI here to be able to see a report of what buildings are covered and not covered, instead, you'll receive an email when the prediction is finished running. And in that email, there will be an attached CSV. That CSV will list all the various cutoffs, threshold cutoffs between -42 and -90, so that you can identify the number of buildings covered, line of sight or non-line of sight, and also not covered at all within the radius of the tower. So as an example, if we chose -68 dBm to be our cutoff, there are 46,000 buildings within the radius. 2,000 are covered line of sight, another 3,000 are covered non-line of sight, and 4,000 are not covered at all. To the right, you'll see the breakout based on percentage as well. We offer a Tower Eval site in two different ways. We offer, for heavy planners, a movable site that is basically unlimited for 30 days or 1 month. So you can take the site, you can configure it, run predictions, move it, run predictions again. It doesn't have any limitations there. You can do all your planning and know the cost that you're going to spend up front because you've paid for this unlimited access. However, if you're doing more intermittent type planning, we sell a 10-pack of fixed sites. These are Tower Eval sites with all of the changes that we mentioned before, just like the movable. But when you place it, again, you can't move it beyond 100 meters. And so you buy this 10-pack, you get to use those 10 different site locations at your discretion. That's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at cnHeat@cambiumnetworks.com.